Hello students, I am Shibajit and today with me is Mohammad Rizwan. Hope you all are doing well. Let's begin the session. Today we are going to learn about some environmental movements and women's movements that took place in India. Learning outcomes. Movement against dams on the Narmada River. Silent Valley Movement 1973 to 85. Movement of women for social justice and human rights. Some common features across social movements. Keywords: anti-Iraq, a women's movement organized in Andhra Pradesh against alcoholism. Democratic, relating to or supporting democracy or its principles. Participatory, involving or characterized by participation. Patrolling, keep watch over an area by regularly walking or traveling around it. Prohibition, the action of prohibiting something, especially by law. Ambitious, having or showing a strong desire and determination to succeed. This is the concept map of the lesson. Environmental movements in India. Environmental movements started in our country in the 1970s as grassroots movements for the protection of natural forests. One such movement was the Chipko movement, about which you have already studied. Movements against dams on the Narmada River. India's 1950s development plans included large dams like Bhakra-Nangal, Hirakud, and Nagarjun Sagar. Despite their impressive water storage, irrigation, electricity generation, and flood control capabilities, it led to the destruction of trees, fields, and animals, and the eviction of people with little compensation. Dam investments faced high costs, construction delays, price increases, and insufficient irrigation due to lesser water storage capacity, leading to doubt about their true potential. These questions were raised when the government proposed building a series of major and minor dams across the Narmada River in one of India's most ambitious river valley projects. Displaced people demand fair compensation, rehabilitation, and afforestation for land and forest loss from a dam project, but lack adequate land and rehabilitation facilities. The issue was not compensation or rehabilitation, but a flawed development concept based on unsustainable resource use, leading to unskilled manual workers and reduced quality of life for poor farmers and tribals. The Narmada Bachao Andolan NBA, led by Bhawa Mahalia, opposed dam construction in Narmada Valley, leading to the withdrawal of World Bank aid for the Sardar Sarovar project. The NBA movement, despite its failure to stop the Sardar Sarovar Dam, prompted a revaluation of developments, impact on the poor and powerful, prompting governments to consider compensation. Silent Valley Movement 1973-85. The Silent Valley Dam project in Kerala was halted due to the people's concern about the destruction of rare species of animals and plants like the endangered lion-tailed macaw. The Kerala High Court ordered its stop, and the government converted the area into a national park in 1985. Movement of women for social justice and human rights. We have already studied about the unequal treatment of women and the struggle for their rights. Let's now look at the two movements by the women of Andhra Pradesh and Manipur. Adavalu Ekamaite. Women in Dubagunta village, who were wage earners, were exploited by their husbands for toddy and arak. After reading about Sitamma's death, they stopped toddy carts, leading to no toddy entering the village and no participation in arak auctions. They realized education was key to their victory. In 1992, women from other villages too protested against arak sales, leading to the cancellation of annual arak auctions and protests against liquor shops. Men were forced to swear oaths to stop drinking, leading to arak prohibition in 1993 and 1995. Social mobilization on human rights. Let's see how women in Manipur fought against laws allowing armed forces to suppress people without judicial review. Manipur, a region in India, has two distinct geographical terrains, valley and hills. Before independence, the valley was under princely rule, while the hills were mainly tribal. In 1949, Manipur became part of India, but many tribes disputed this. The government deployed the army and enforced the Armed Forces Special Powers Act 1958, which allowed security forces to arrest or shoot people suspected of anti-national activities. Maira Paibi movement. Maira Paibi or torch bearers was initially a movement to prevent public disorder due to alcohol abuse in the late 1970s. However, it became a movement for human rights after the Indian Armed Forces were deployed to counter Manipuri independence in the year 1980s. This led to frequent military operations and human rights violations. The Maira Paibi responded with protest, demonstrations, patrolling the streets at night with bamboo and rag kerosene torches. They demanded revoking of the AFSPA Act, which has grown in strength. They undertook various forms of resistance, including boycotts of elections and relay hunger strikes. One amongst them, Irom Sharmila, was on hunger strike for more than 10 years and was under house arrest. Some common features across social movements. It's often seen that social movements cut across boundaries of principles. Both Mahatma and Luther King were raising issues of human rights, ideals, while raising the questions of environment and equality. Some movements resist forced changes, while others demand change. Social movements often distance themselves from individual political parties and are more united under a single cause. Social movements arise when individuals in a region or cause feel their expectations have been unmet by the prevalent political system in a country. Thank you.